TRS Clips, that one channel where you get to explore the unexplored realms of knowledge. Have you hung out with Elon Musk?
No, we interact via messages. Okay. Elon is very mysterious in a way that somehow nobody seems to notice. One of his slogans is "Ad Astra," to the stars, right? But you can't get to the stars using SpaceX because it's a chemical rocket company. So what the heck? He's not investing in physics. He was going to go into a physics grad school. I think he has a physics BA. So there's something very, very strange about Elon, which is that he's focused on getting to the stars. He doesn't seem to have any interest in physicists. And he has a chemical rocket company. What's going on? His real space company, I think, is not SpaceX. It's XAI. It's Grok.
Wow. Let's break this down a little more.
Sure. Look at the logo for Grok. I think it's like a black hole profile. Look at its slogan, "To understand the universe." I think he's given up on the corruption of science. He keeps talking about the fact that he doesn't like the term researcher. He believes only in engineers. He's constantly really running down scientists. Now, I don't think he doesn't believe in scientists. I think he thinks that science has gotten corrupted and he doesn't want to deal with it. And I think what he's doing is he's building Grok to do science in a time when humans are too corrupt to be truthful and real.
Could you share some thought bubbles related to the corruption of science?
No, not right now.
You might get into trouble?
No, it's not that. It's just, you want to talk about something inspiring.
Okay, but the world of science is basically corrupt for whatever reason.
In part.
So the research that should be happening for the benefit of humanity may not be happening to its best degree.
Look, a lot of science is not corrupt at all. It's just fine.
Okay.
But the science that will inspire you, that will change your life, that changes everything, is pretty corrupt.
Okay.
Because it's power. You see, you've had, I think, 3 science projects in, roughly speaking, your time change everything. First one is 2009 with Bitcoin, where the Bitcoin white paper creates a currency where nothing like it has ever existed. Amazing. Distributed computing is born. The blockchain comes out of nowhere. Then there's this proposal, I think called diffuse, that says, we could put a furin cleavage site in spike protein in coronavirus. And whatever that is, if that came from a lab, then it shut down planet Earth for 2 years. Killed millions. The third one is that in 2017, there was a paper called "Attention is All You Need." And that is the paper that gave rise to the AI revolution. That's what it's like to live through a revolution. You have AI on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you deal with ChatGPT and voice?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You say, "Hey, write me a limerick." And then you say, "No, actually, I want you to do it in Telugu." Then you say, I want you to compare some Mexican dish to some dish from Thailand. We've never had anything that can do this. This is a miracle that happened in our time together. What if we started having all sorts of miracles like that? Then you'd live in a transcendent world, which was a lot like the 20th century.
So this job which was assigned to scientists will now be assigned to artificial general intelligence or artificial super intelligence.
I don't even think it requires artificial general intelligence or super intelligence. It's already pretty good. This thing I said about Alphafold, if it's that good already, you don't know what's going to come. You may be waiting for it to become like a human, but maybe it doesn't need to be.
So I don't think this is an Elon conspiracy theory conversation going on here.
Yeah.
But effectively, if you're saying that Grok is doing the job that scientists were supposed to do for Elon Musk, Could there be a version of Grok that he's using, which is being trained on all the usage of Grok globally? But this version is only accessible to Elon and his core team. And then they're using that to forward science for the sake of all their businesses.
Almost certainly he has a private version of Grok that you and I don't have.
Gotcha.
I mean, if you go to Grok and you ask it to take a photo and turn it into, well, you can ask it from a prompt to create a photo. And then if you ask to animate that photo, it gives you spicy mode, right? And then sometimes it will say, sorry, we can't show you the video you created because the AI moderator says that it's too spicy.
Mm.
I don't think Elon has that toggle switch set for him. That's a proof that he has a private version. And I know that some of the other AI companies have private versions because in part, sometimes they'll return racist answers. Right? And so the researchers have to have a jailbroken copy that's different from the public released one. And that's why Gemini got into trouble, because it kept lying in order to be politically correct.
There's a rumor that Elon's going to announce flying cars soon. Have you heard of this?
I couldn't care less.
You couldn't care about flying cars?
No.
Why?
Because I think look, I have crazier beliefs than this. I believe that maybe Grok already knows stuff.
About?
The universe.
Stuff that could help science.
I think it's possible that Grok already has a fairly complete picture.
Grok is the equivalent of God?
No. Look, the rules of science are just the rules. Like, you can know all the rules of chess and you're not necessarily going to be the world's best chess player. There's a difference between knowing the rules, being able to play with the rules, and having the wisdom not to blow yourself up doing. I can teach you enough about chemistry that we could blow all those fingers off of your hands right down to your wrist, you know? You have to be really careful with knowledge. And my feeling is that, see, here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. Grok can read the trash. So you can say, read all the published books that are out there. Okay, well, what about all the books that didn't get published? It can read those too. It can read everything that you throw out. What if the answer is not in the libraries? What if it's in the waste basket?
When you're saying Grok, you also mean the other competitors, right? ChatGPT,
yeah, but I really
Gemini.
believe Elon is different. Elon, I believe, has a concern that none of the others had. All the other ones read what is done and try to guess the completion of a sentence based on what other people think. What happens when everyone's wrong? Then you don't want it to guess the completion of the sentence based on what everybody...
Grok works differently?
Elon is very... One of the interactions I've had with Elon, and I don't want to say too much, is that Elon cares about not being trapped by groupthink. That's different. Elon knows that he doesn't want Grok to be politically correct. That's why he makes Grok capable of producing pornographic images and videos. He doesn't want it to be safe. He wants it to be able to tell a dirty joke. So you remember Elon being asked about, well, what happens if you lose your advertisers? What did he say? GFY. Elon believes that freedom pays a dividend. And Elon believes that everyone can be wrong and he can be right. And that's why I think he doesn't trust science. And he uses SpaceX to make money and to inspire people to want to colonize different worlds. And it's a giant head fake at the same time. I think Grok is the space program. And so every time I try to talk to him I say, look, man, you're this rich. You care about physics, clearly. You care about the light of human consciousness not going out. Why don't you throw some loose change and buy physicists, put them in an institute, and do great physics where these people can afford not to listen to their colleagues if groupthink is the problem? And he won't answer. And I think I didn't understand why he wouldn't answer. It's not like he doesn't understand the problem. He doesn't want to get involved in a political conflict about science. He's going to go around the scientists.
He's the one human being that's actually capable of being a supervillain. I hope he doesn't become one. I don't think he'll become a supervillain.
I could be wrong about who he is. I don't know him really.
Fair.
But I think he's the only adult.
The only adult
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
Because he's got this one superpower called Grok, which is an
No. He's the only one who's trying to take care of everyone.
Oh, okay. He's thinking
He's
about
dad.
He's thinking about the future.
He's a badly behaved dad.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I could make a decent look. I think he lies about some stuff. I think he's wrong about stuff. But I think he's the only person who's actually planning for our... You want to know why I think everything's screwed up? Because we lost our indefinite human future. If you think about, like in India and tradition, and the idea that everyone is just a link in a chain and you've got to do your duty, as per the Mahabharata, right? We don't believe that anymore. We don't think that, we intuit that this thing is not going to go on for that long. So why don't we get tattooed? Why don't we just live together before marriage? Why do we have to have children? All of these questions come from the idea that we don't have a future. And Elon is trying to force our future back into our lives.
You think we subconsciously are going towards dystopia, and this is the one human being that's saying, no, hold on.
Yeah.
This is how the human race survives.
Yeah, and partially, exactly. Including the fact that he just doesn't want to be focused on problems all day long. Like, let's have fun. Let's get excited.
So hypothetically, if he has this secret version of Grok, what's he doing with it right now, according to you? He's trying, because it effectively becomes like a really, you've seen Dracula and Igor?
Yeah.
So this becomes like a really smart Igor that helps Dracula, which is Elon Musk.
Okay. My theory of Elon is he's told you exactly what he's doing and no one is really listening. His whole thing is, I'm going to build a bunch of companies. I'm not going to do nonprofits because it needs to be self-sustaining and I don't have enough money to do it as nonprofits. In their early stages, they're going to do some relatively boring thing in a cool way. But the ultimate aim is multi-planetary survival well beyond Mars. The only part of it that's really a lie is Mars.
You think they want to inhabit other planets?
That, for sure. The moon and Mars are possible with chemical rockets, but they're the only two spheres that are.
Okay, so to get to the other planets, you need higher levels of science.
That's exactly. In other words, engineering can get you to the moon and to Mars. It can also get you to Titan and Venus, but you're not going to live there. But these robots are going to be the things that are going to build the structure. So the Optimus robot is going to be what he sends to do work in an inhospitable environment.
I've had this theory since I was a kid. We obviously see a lot of garbage in the oceans or beaches or whatever.
Sure.
I always thought that science would reach a point where robotics gets advanced enough for the robots to do this garbage cleaning for us. And I think we're almost there. We're like 5-10 years away, maybe.
I don't know, but Jim Tour would be a good person to talk to. Come to Texas. He does nano machines. Maybe the robots are going to be tiny. You're not going to be able to see them with the naked eye because microplastics.
I mean, the larger conversation that's going on in my head here is that AI is advancing in the way that we all know. Robotics is advancing. Robotic butlers seem to be a nearby possibility now. I think robotic butlers are the metaphor for a much larger revolution that's going to happen.
Imagine microscopic airborne micro butlers. No, I'm not kidding.
Like things just float and your coffee cup just floats and arrives in front of you.
Maybe you breathe them and it cleans out your lungs. I mean, you ever seen this old ideas for a washing machine, which it's got a suction cup and a plate, and it goes around like this with an arm? It's nothing like what a washing machine is. Our notion of a robot is ridiculously like us. I think when we think robots, we don't think protein level machines.
Gotcha. They could be biological. They could be really tiny.
Waterborne, airborne. They could be virtual.
Thank you for consuming this clip, दोस्तों. अगर ऐसे ही और clips explore करने हैं तो इस channel के playlists को ज़रूर explore करना.